Good morning, friends! Welcome back to A Drill and a Dream. Today is the big day. Can you believe it's finally here? Mark is coming with the excavator to start work on the back patio and other jobs around here. I am so excited. So I literally just rolled out of bed. I'm not sure when he's getting here, but I wanted to give you a quick before look at everything before he starts. So let's take a look around. Okay, so here is where the patio is going to be. I just want to give you a quick idea of the vision. Go down into this sketchy little area. So last night I came over and I dug out a whole bunch of daffodils that were growing back here to plant them somewhere else before they get killed today. But here's what we're looking at. These are some random rocks that are going to be used for stone walls. So basically the patio is going to go straight out from the house, bam, like that, and then over to the other side of the door here. So it's going to be about 25 by 30 feet. 30 feet this way, 25 feet coming out. After the 25 feet, it's going to have steps down, step, 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 step. And over here, it's going to, this is my plan at least, it's going to have two terraced garden beds, all with stone walls as the side of them. Does that make sense to you? I don't know, but maybe by the end of this video or the next few videos, you'll have a better view, as long as it does work out, as I'm hoping it's going to work out. So the goal is to use different stones like these and other stone piles that I have laying around. And it's going to be probably similar to this stone wall that Mark made last year, that goes as the retaining wall for that piece of lawn. So it's going to be straight across here and then taking a turn. So that is the plan, hope, goal for the patio. Then the top of it is going to be, well, I'm going to have to talk to him about it and see what the plan is for the top. But basically, after he's all done, then I will be laying the flat stones on the top. In theory, that's the plan. So some of these like flatter top stones will not be put in the stone wall, potentially, to use for the top. As always, I don't know what I'm doing, but we're figuring it out as we go. And so far we've had a pretty good success rate, so we're hoping for the best. Okay, so we're gonna have the stone patio coming back from here. Here's where things get interesting. Back in the forest, I have labeled with little orange straps the trees that I want to keep. So one of the other hopes for this week while Mark is here is to take out all of the extra trees, whether it might be Dad cutting them down and then Mark taking out the roots, or Mark might just push them right down with the excavator, if that's a possibility. But either way, we're taking some of the trees out, the ones that are worse, and the nice ones, like this little guy, woo, 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 you know. So I'm excited about that, just to kind of clean it up a little bit, and also to give more sunlight in the forest area. As I'm looking at my garden plans, I'm like, everything needs sunlight to live. Obviously some things can handle shade better, but I was asking my dad, because I want to put some evergreen trees back here, give a little bit more winter interest. And so I said to Dad, what trees can grow in the shade, like in the full shade? And he's like, no trees can grow in full shade. Everything needs sunlight to grow. I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And so obviously, you know, some trees will grow, but they don't look pretty. They grow, they're really leggy, and you know, that's obviously, I'm looking for a real nice little tree-shaped tree, which you can't do with one hand, but you know what I mean, like a Christmas-shaped kind of tree. And he's like, yeah, you need sunlight for that. But it's interesting now that the leaves are starting to come out, you can kind of see where the spots are that have more sunlight, and you can plant accordingly. And of course, there will be more where that comes from when more trees come out. So I have a few little jobs written down for Mark that I have to look back at. But the other thing that I really want to get figured out is kind of the different levels of the ground. So the patio is actually going to go up to where the siding is, like right under the siding. That's where the patio is going to be. So this area up here is high. This is kind of like flat right now, and then it goes up here, it goes up here, it goes way down there. So what I'm going to do is talk to him about how I want the levels to go. Obviously there's going to be steps down from the patio. I know the areas that I want to be sloped, I know the areas that I want to be up high, and I know the areas that I want to be down low. So just kind of working with him to make that happen so that the places that I want to be flat are flat. Up here, I'm gonna have more of a formal garden, and I want that area to be flat. I don't want to have that hump. I don't want to have this hump. I want this all to be pretty flat. And then obviously back here, there's gonna have to be some transition to going down, but I want this down area to be flat also. Obviously there's gonna be, you know, whatever, but generally I want it to be a similar flatness of land because that is easier and better, not tripping, not weird, you know. So there are a lot of things that I want him to do back there. It's not gonna all get done this year. I would like him to get some of the bad garbage though out of there, like the stove and stuff like that. I would like him to do that this year. But I'm hoping probably maybe next spring to have him come back again. I want him to do some more cleaning up back there. I just know that it's gonna be a lot of work that needs to be done back there. And like my little stone wall that I have, I don't know if you can see it from here. Okay, so that's the stone wall. Where's my finger? That's the stone wall. It actually continues down that way, but there's a hole in it right here. And all of the stones that fell out of it, it must have been when the dam that was across there flooded. There's all the stones are laying on the ground there. So next year I want him to stack them up and make the wall full again. And that whole area back there is just really bad. So I think a good day or two with the excavator could clean it up really nicely, but it's not top priority for this year. This year I have to focus on the patio and kind of the stuff that's like here by the house. See how long that takes. Because obviously I only have so much money saved up for this project. So what I initially told him, he said would take probably 3 to 4 days to work on. So we'll just kind of see how much he gets done and how much extra things we have time for. I literally have the things that I need him to do written out in like priority order, so we can just kind of go and see how far he gets, keeping the top priority things first and go from there. It's really hard when there's just so much that you want to get done, and having him here is so exciting, and it's just like, here's like this gazillion long list of things that I want to get done. So I'm trying to keep to my priority list and focus on those things first, and that will give me a lot of work to do until next spring, or maybe this fall, probably next spring, when I have him come back to finish up the excavation work. guys, so while Mark is working, I'm going to plant these daffodils, and I just wanted to show you the insane amount of daffodils that were back there. And I can't really film that well because my tripod and my filming phone, which also hooks up to my microphones, are over with Mark. But check this out. I had to show you because this is insane. So I've been just kind of laying them out every little bit, but these are all daffodils, plus all of these. There's so many of them. And I'm gonna just kind of put them in a row in front of the lilies and the irises all the way back here, which I think would be really nice to have. So most of them are actually this different kind. So I have some that are this kind of normal daffodil thing, but I have this other kind, and I looked up what kind they are. I'll put it on the screen, I'll show you a picture of it. But they're a lot smaller and they bloom a lot later. They actually were not opened up yet, but I took some inside that were starting to bud or whatever, and they opened up overnight. They're really pretty and they smell really good. So that's kind of fun. They're not gonna bloom super early in the spring, which is what I think the best thing about daffodils is, that they do bloom early in the spring. And then also I can plant them in the back gardens, even in the forest garden. I think they'll do okay in the future, but this will be a good spot for them. And honestly, they grow so much and you can just keep splitting them and keep having more and more. So these daffodils might last me my whole lifetime. Okay, the daffodils are all planted and they will look so beautiful next spring all along this tree line. And I took the week mostly off so that I could be here for if Mark had any questions and stuff. So I made like this list of things to do, and hopefully I will get them done. This was on that. But I gotta say, it is just absolutely mesmerizing just to watch whatever he's doing. And I feel like it's taking up most of my time today, just because it's so exciting and it's so cool to see how it all works. He does a really good job at it. So I hope you guys are enjoying this video as well. Alrighty, so day one is finished. It was a short day because Mark had some other stuff going on, but I'll show you the progress thus far. I feel like we're in really good shape to start really pounding it out tomorrow. Basically, he went through a lot of these different rocks and sorted them into different piles. Some piles are for like what's going to go on top, kind of laying them out to see where everything is going to be. And then we kind of also can see a game plan of the size of it, which is exciting and scary. So it's going to come across here, squared off, and then back to the house. Scary because when you look at it, you're like, is this a good size, or is it too small, or is it too big? I know in my head that it's very large. 25 by 30 is like a very good large patio. But when you're looking at it, you're like, is this actually big enough? Can I have my table and chairs and then my little seating area, or what? But I'm gonna just trust my gut, I guess, and trust my research. And hopefully it'll be really good. It's also like you don't want it to be too big because it's gonna be a lot of work. So don't do extra work, you know, but also make it big enough. So the stairs have also begun, and obviously they're gonna get kind of filled in a little bit to make them a bit more safe. But it's really cool to kind of see what it's gonna be like. So we were talking about these two big stones that were pulled out. This one right here and that one behind the excavator. That one, trippy, behind the excavator. No, this way. It's like a mirror image. It's hard to know how to move your hand. But he was asking if I wanted to put them in the wall or not. And we weren't sure how that would look. If it would look weird, bad, or interesting, cool. So I think we're gonna maybe try it, but having kind of as the two ends of it, like kind of making the big rocks as the two kind of pillars, and then in between it would be more of a rock, so kind of like a corner rock, foundation stone kind of thing. Don't know how it's going to turn out, if we'll like it or not, but we're going to try it and see. So more fun coming tomorrow. Mark started his day out in the woods searching for beautiful stones for the patio. He found a lot of treasures. There are so many stones out there. It's absolutely insane. He was looking specifically for stones to use for the steps. So Mark and I just had a talk, and I feel like a major diva. He was super great with it. But as Trudy and I were standing there and looking at it, we realized something like really unfortunate, that the stairs weren't lined up quite right. They were too far over, which I would have been fine with or made it work or whatever. But the problem is the way that I have everything set up, I have it so down the road, if I want to, there's like one place in the house that you can build an addition. And like I've said in the past, if you follow along with my videos, I don't have any plans to do that in the near future, but I want to have the option in case, say I had children and I needed another bedroom, or even just like getting old, to have the option of a bedroom downstairs. I want to be aware of these things in case they do happen. So there's only one place in the house that you can build on, and I have everything set up so that it's available and nothing is kind of in the way of that. And the way that the stairs were lined up, they were going too far into the addition area. So I was talking to Mark, it just kind of started out facing the sliding door like I planned, and then just kind of as the stairs were built, it got further away. So I talked to Mark and we're like, what to do? But we decided that he is going to rebuild my beautiful stairs, and I'm so scared because I love them so much. They're so gorgeous, and I'm terrified that they're not going to come back as beautiful. But we think we figured out a way to just kind of move them a little bit so we can just kind of shift all of the stairs over, and hopefully it'll be just as beautiful the second time. I feel literally terrible because it's so much extra work, but he thinks it shouldn't be that bad, and we'll just kind of move everything over. So we're going for stairs round 2. I literally am in love with the stairs and the way that the patio is coming so far. I'm so excited, and I feel awful that this is happening, but I guess it's important to do things right, just the way that you need to do them the first time before the whole patio gets built. And then down the road, if I needed to build the addition, it's in the way, in a bad way, or not lining up with the house. So you gotta do what you gotta do. So that's what's happening now. Can you guys even believe the amount of work that got done, even with the little stair mishap? We have some major progress around here. So let me just walk down my beautiful stairs. Look how lovely they look. And they match up so much better with the door. But it really wasn't about like the aesthetics of being straight with the door, although I do want that. It was more of an issue of not having the patio in a place that messes up future opportunities for adding on to the house. So even though it was a pain, I think that it was the right thing to do. And also, so for the stairs, I plan on going through and kind of filling in the cracks with smaller stones, kind of like a little mosaic puzzle of stones, which I think will be really fun. And then I can put in the stone dust that I'll use for the top of the patio. That will kind of fill in the cracks, and when you spray it with water, it kind of hardens. And really, it ended up taking about an hour, so it wasn't that huge of a process. Mark was very kind to do that for me. So this is where we're at. It looks so good. The stone wall is started, and I apologize for not the best camera angles, but unfortunately after like all day of filming, the battery runs real dry, and I had to have it in a funky way in order to keep it plugged in. So it had to stay close to the outlets up there. And of course, I really try to be far out of the way of what Mark's doing so he doesn't have to worry about the camera. He's got enough stuff to deal with. But this is where we're at. We did put some drainage pipes in here so that any water that kind of goes from melting snow or whatever can come out in a safe way that does not harm the stone walls. And I think it looks really great. It's going to go up a little bit more so as to match up. The stone patio top is going to be kind of similar to where the siding starts. So this whole area is going to be the patio, and then in front in this area is going to be some flower beds kind of terraced down. I think it looks amazing. Major progress in this video. I can't wait to see what tomorrow holds. I think he's going to be continuing on the stone walls, but also I believe tomorrow, although I'm not 100% sure, my dad is going to be coming as well. And together, the two of them are going to work on taking down some of the trees in the back. So that will be very exciting as well, and give a totally different view out here. Just a lot of the little scraggly trees gone, a lot of the bendy trees, and just kind of smoothing out this area and bringing in some more sunlight. So it's all very exciting. I will keep you updated on the beautiful progress. Oh my goodness, look at that. What a beautiful transformation. I'll see you guys next time on A Drill and a Dream.